What's up, guys? It's me, Tony G, coming to you from the Live Hotel and Casinos Poker Room. This is episode 106 of my vlog. In this episode, we're playing in the nightly $150 tournament, 20,000 in starting chips, and I think 20-minute levels. Let's hope we cash, or maybe even ship this damn thing. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. Do me a favor, if you're new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot and helps me out. If you're not new here, I appreciate you guys coming back and supporting the channel. You guys are awesome, all my returning subscribers. Let's get into the episode. Okay, and like the second or third hand that comes to me, that's right, folks, we have the best hand in poker, pocket aces, ace of diamonds, ace of hearts. I'm in middle position. I make it 300, and the button calls and the small and the big blind calls, we are going four ways to the flop, which is king, king, 3 with 2 hearts. I got the ace of hearts, so let's hope we get a flush here. I bet 600. The button calls and the small and big blind fold, so we are now heads up to the turn. The turn is a card I really wanted to see. It's red, and it's in the shape of a heart. It's a 4 of heart, folks. Got the flush draw going here, hoping we hit a heart. This time I throw out a bet of 800, and the button, surprisingly, raises it up to 2,000. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's got a king and he's been trapping me, but my gut told me he didn't have a king. So I went ahead and called the 2,000. And the river is not a red card. It's the 4 of spades. We have 2 pair right now, aces and kings. I check, and surprisingly, he checks. He doesn't bet and flips over 4, 5, 4 diamonds. He's got 4s, full, and we lose the first hand here. Okay, level 2 blinds are 100, 200, 200. I have the ace of clubs, the 9 of spades. I'm on the button. I decide to go ahead and limp in after a couple folds. I know I shouldn't limp, but I limped anyway on the button. And we're 3 ways to the flop. The flop's favorable. It's the queen 3-10 with 2 clubs. I got the straight draw going and the backdoor flush draw. It checks to the turn, which is gin, the jack of diamonds. I got the straight. Let's see if we can make them pay. The big blind bets 300. The under the gun folds, and I raise to 1,200. The big blind looks at his chips and says all in. I snap call, and we flip over our cards. He shows ace of hearts, queen of diamonds. He's dead. The river doesn't matter. It's the 5 of spades, and we take the hand down, and we are off to a decent start. We're in level 3. It's the early part of level 3. Blinds are 200, 300, 300. I'm on the button with the queen, jack of hearts. It gets to me, and I raise it up to $600. The big blind calls and middle position calls, and we go 3 ways to the flop. The flop couldn't get much better. It's 5, jack, queen, all rainbow. We got top, and I decide to check it, and we all check to the turn, which is the 6 of spades. I'm not checking it this time. It gets to me, and I throw out a bet of $1,200. The big blind folds, and The middle position decides to call the 1200. We're heads up to the river. The river is blank, really. It's a brick. It's the 9 of hearts. I don't think it's helping anybody, especially not me. She checks it to me, and I throw out a bet of 3,200, and she mucks her cards face down, and we take down that pot. Okay, a couple levels later, we are moved to a different table because our table broke. I have kings. I'm on the button again. The blinds are 300, 600, 600, and level 5. It limps to me, and I make it 1,800 to go, and it's myself in middle position. We're heads up to the flop, and the flop is Jack 7-7 with 2 diamonds. He looks at his cards and playing with his chips and thinks about checking, I think. He goes to put chips out but pulls them back real quick, and ultimately he just checks it to me. So I throw out a bet of 3,200. He asked her what the count was. He couldn't see from the other side of the table, and she reminded him 3,200, and he announces all in. So I ask for a count, and it's for about 32,000 effective. I look at my cards, and it's just too early for me. I decide to muck my kings, and I'm glad I did because he shows us 7 of clubs. So he had us going, and he didn't want us to catch up, I guess. Break number 1, sitting at about 33K. Not sure what the average is yet. But got moved to that table, and we just haven't been able to hit a damn thing. Let's hope the run good comes back to us here soon, and then try to cash this damn thing. All right, let's go. Okay, the first hand after break, I called the raised 2,400. Blinds are 600, 1,200, 1,200. We're 3 ways to the flop, which is 10-9 king with 2 spades, and it checks to the turn, which is the king of hearts. I have a pair of 10s with 2 kings on the board. If somebody's got a king in their hand, it's obviously not going to be good for us. The small blind bets 3,200, and the middle position tanks and decides to call, and then it gets to me, and with 2 people in it, I just can't do it, I don't think. I check my cards and I tank for a good 20-25 seconds, and ultimately I just go ahead and muck my cards. After they moved me to another table, this is the very first hand I get. I have the queen of clubs, the queen of diamonds. I'm in the big blind. Levels like 6 or 7. No, it might be level 8. Anyway, blinds are 800, 1,600, 1,600. The under the gun calls, middle position calls, small blind calls, and it gets back to me, and I raise it up to 4,000. The under the gun calls, the small blind calls, and we are going 3 ways to the flop. The flop I thought was decent for me. It's 5-10 Jack Rainbow. The small blind checks to me, and I throw out a bet of 4,500. It folds around to the small blind, and he says the words that I thought I wanted to hear. All in, and I basically snap call. I probably didn't think it over well enough, and he flips over 5 of hearts, 10 of hearts. We're behind here, and the turn in the river don't help. It's 8-3, and we are out of the tournament. And we are out. 12th place. They're paying top 4. What are you gonna do? Queens versus 2 pair. Flop was good for me. 5-10 jack. He had 5-10. What are you gonna do? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And don't forget, it doesn't matter how you're living your life, as long as you're living the felt life.